Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 568 of our trek, and today is Philosophy Friday. Every Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact us in creating our living legacy. Currently, we are on an extended multi-week trek as we explore the teachings of some of my virtual mentors such as Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and Earl Nightingale. The core of the current trek is based primarily on Jim Rohn's book, The 5 Major Pieces to the Life Puzzle. I have learned a considerable amount from reading and rereading this book on my own trek of life, and I trust that you'll benefit from it also. Keeping in continuity with Wisdom Trek, I have adapted it to The 5 Trails on Life's Trek. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. When this episode is initially released, I will still be in Arizona for the week, working with our partners on the final stages of Phase 1 of the construction project. The project owners and realtors have an open house planned for March 25th, so we are hopeful that it will generate some additional sales, so the funding group will move forward with Phase 2. Although we have worked together on projects previously, any large project of this nature requires the results are often checked, and the progress is measured continually. And as we continue on our extended trek focusing on the 4th trail, which is the trail of results, we will explore why checking and measuring results in life is so imperative for a successful outcome. If you've missed any of the past few Philosophy Friday treks, it would be good to go back and review them to get caught up on our progress so far. We have a lot of ground to cover today, so let's break camp and continue on the 4th trail of our extended trek as we cover the 5 Trails on Life's Trek, Results Part 6. And as a reminder, our overall trek does cover these 5 trails: philosophy, attitude, activity, results, and lifestyle. So the first area we want to explore today is why we need to check results often. You cannot afford to wait 10 years to see if your plan, your philosophy, your attitude, or your efforts need to be modified. Neglect and delay can be costly. Progress must be measured on a regular basis. The timely checking of key indicators in all parts of your life is a barometer of responsible thinking. How often you need to check your results depends on how far you want to go. The greater the distance, the more frequently you need to check. If you are only going as far as the next block, being a few degrees off won't make much difference. If you have your sights set for some distant star, though, the miscalculation of even 1 degree can lead you millions of miles off target. The longer that you wait to discover your small error in judgment, the harder you'll have to work to get back on course. Of greater consequence is the passage of time tends to diminish the desire to even get back on course. You may accept the little that you have and abandon your dreams of all that might have been. One of the greatest challenges in life is making measurable progress in a reasonable amount of time. That is what creates both purpose and value in your life. If you are to confront this challenge with enthusiasm and with any hope of success, you cannot use your current circumstances as an excuse for your failure to make measurable progress. When circumstances do make progress difficult, this should be a signal to push harder, not diminish your efforts. The difficulties you encounter serve a unique purpose. Difficulty tests the strength of your resolve. If the want to is strong enough, then you'll be driven to seek solutions. As you invoke the power of creativity and intensify your efforts to conquer each new problem, you actually speed up your progress. Without challenges to captivate your attention, you may take twice as long to arrive at your objective. If the way is easy, you tend to drift along on a leisurely pace, content with the knowledge that your success is within your grasp. If you are fraught with obstacles, though, you will dig deeper within yourself, calling upon more ingenuity, more abilities, and more strength than you even knew you possessed. Conquering these challenges lead to a new level of self-confidence that drives you further and faster towards your inevitable success. If you are not making measurable progress in a reasonable amount of time, then it may be that your goal is just too small. It is difficult to get excited about minor rewards. The problem may also be that you don't really believe in your dreams, or to be more specific, you don't believe in your ability to make them happen. Instead of being challenged by obstacles, you use them as opportunities to withdraw from confrontation. That is why checking your results often is so important. If you're not making measurable progress in a reasonable amount of time, then something is clearly wrong with either your objective or the execution of your plans. And the third area we want to look at today is whatever happens really happens to everyone. In the final analysis, we are all faced with about the same circumstances over our period of a lifetime. Some choose to use them as an excuse for poor performance, while others use these same circumstances as a reason to grow and to drive themselves to new heights of accomplishments. We all have opportunities mixed with difficulties. You will have times of illness in addition to years of health. The storms always impact the rich as well as the poor. Whatever happens, happens to everyone. The only difference is your approach to the things that do happen to you. It is not what happens that determines the quality of your life. It is what you choose to do about what happens. There is an inherent tendency to want the results when you want them or need them. But the law of planting and harvesting tells us that to harvest in the fall, you must first plant in the spring. You must use the summer also to help the plants to grow strong by guarding against a certain invasion of devouring insects and strangling weeds. You must continue your activity in spite of your current needs. The harvest will surely come, but it will come in its own due season. As Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 1 through 8 tells us, "For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace." Results do not respond to need. Results respond to effort, to labor, to activity, and if you've done your part, the results you need will appear in a reasonable amount of time. We are deliberately taking our trek slowly on the 5 trails on Life's Trek as we continue to hike today on the Trail of Results. Today we learned that you must check and measure results often, and then if you have been diligent in these steps, in due season the harvest will be ready. This applies to all areas of your life. There is a season for everything. You must wait for that season, but while you're waiting, you must check and measure progress as you make the necessary adjustments. And once again, this concept is rooted in the basic fundamentals of the law of planting and harvesting. Next Philosophy Friday, we'll explore that habits of neglect grow exponentially, so we must have confidence in determining our results. So join us next Friday for these additional insights. I know that you'll find these insights interesting and profitable in living your rich and satisfying life. Our next trek, though, will be on Monday, and we will continue our series called The Tools in Gramps' Backpack, where we will equip you with the tools needed to impact the lives of others. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks or read their associated journals, we have them all available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe through iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, let to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.